it actually happens to be it, I'll
It's gotta be.
I'll tell by your reaction.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'll let you know.
There's no others that were that long that we recommended.
Yeah. Don't worry, we get you covered.
So creepy.
We know what you're up to.
We get you covered.
I want to wear your skin like a meat suit.
Oh my god.
Sorry. What?
Intro.
No!
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the Up Real Late podcast. We are on episode 17 this week. My name is Scott Ellis. I'm joined here, as always, by Tim McGavick. What's going on, Tim?
Not much. I'm sorry for the mouth breathing and sniffing.
And the
You're
spread
gonna hear in this
of your
episode.
germs throughout the entire...
I'm a tad sick.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That
Oh.
sounds disgusting.
Let's get that sniff on.
That was lovely. Also here is Tyler Switalski.
I
What's going on,
am
Ty?
repulsed.
Nice. Also here, Adam Franey.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm sitting opposite from Tim, hoping I
I'm
don't
cough straight into your face.
Yeah, well, wouldn't be the first time.
Well, there you go. Let's just run down a couple things we're going to talk about on today's podcast. As always, we're going to do our last scenes, and we're also going to review the movie that came out this week, Steve Jobs.
Is that what we were supposed to see?
That is.
I saw
wow.
a season of The Witch.
Oh,
This
what?
is rough.
This is gonna
I'm
be
kidding,
an
guys.
intro to
Last Witch Hunter, you mean?
That's the one I wanted to say.
Good one.
Joe
Wow.
failed. Gonna edit this out.
Good one. Tim, edit this out for the love of God.
And we're also going to get into some news. Mainly, we're going to be talking about the Star Wars trailer that came out this week. Some of us have seen it, some of us have not. We're going to get into it later. And there's some other news topics we will get into later. So stay tuned for that. And also, for you viewers out there on YouTube, if you check the description box, you can find annotations for all of our topics that I just mentioned, timestamps. So if you do want to skip ahead to any of those topics, you can do so. So, yeah, without any further ado, let's get into our last scene. Anyone
Who dares start this?
want to jump in?
Russian roulette.
Tim,
Timmy!
you're
Usual.
pointing to
I'm
yourself.
scared. I'm scared.
Hey,
I
don't
know.
make the listeners think that I'm selfish and I want to do it first every week.
Well, you are.
He
Well,
didn't
But if you
point.
guys insist, I'll do it first. So I saw the movie.
a little movie.
I guess I'll start with the plot description for you.
Oh God, here we go.
A silent movie star
You fuck! I knew you did.
I'm out. See ya.
struggles with his career and love life when the silent film era comes to a close.
Wow.
This is, if you guys don't know, the 2011 film The Artist.
Love it. I've been viewers out there. I've been telling these guys, Adam and Tim, that you guys need to see The Artist, and they kept refusing. So I'm glad you finally saw it, Tim.
This is written and directed by Michel Hazanvikis.
Wow. Yeah. Good luck. Congratulations on that.
That was my first time saying that out loud.
I'll believe that.
It stars Jean Desjardins, Berenice Bejo, and John Goodman.
Yep.
This won Best Oscar for Best Picture, Director, Best Music, Best Costume Design, and most famously, Jean Desjardins won Best Actor.
Best actor. What did you think of this movie?
Man.
Tim, I need to know what you thought because I thought we had a pact.
If you guys look
not
this
to
up
see
on
it.
Letterboxd, Scotty gave it a 5 reeler.
Five
banger.
Five banger. I love this movie.
Tim's score,
Can I?
a little bit lower than that. Heavy 3. It was
That's
good.
it. Wow.
It was good.
I'm shocked.
This came out the same year that Drive was snubbed, I believe,
Oh,
as well as the same year as
don't
Moneyball, which
say it.
is one of my favorites. Now, this movie was a heavy 4 for a few minutes. There's a scene about 30 minutes in. I'm going to spoil it because it's a really good scene. It's a silent film, and it's about a silent actor, and everything's really silent. And then there's a scene where, like, he's sitting in front of his little makeup desk or whatever, and he puts down his glass, and you hear it. I'm just like, oh, fuck.
Wow.
As he's starting to, like, resist movie sound, like talkies, people are going to start making sounds around him, but he's going to be stuck being the only silent character in this movie. I'm like, shit, this is not what I thought this movie was. And then, dream sequence goes back to being a completely silent film. I was like, there is a much better movie here that could have been so much deeper, where, like, everyone else start hearing, like, flashes of talking and stuff, I was like, this is what my mind was thinking. I was like, you're gonna hear people coming in and going and doors slamming. I was like, we're gonna be hearing it. He's gonna be freaking out to the sound, but he's the only one that's still not able to speak and be silent, and that's way more dramatic when he finally said something at the end of the movie. Didn't happen. I was so pumped.
Not to spoil it, but there was sound at the very end.
Very end. Don't give a shit.
Wow.
It would have been cool if like he was like finally on board with it at the end, but it's.
I'll shut up. Sorry.
There was a much better movie here. As soon as I saw that scene, this jumped up.
I'm surprised that was.
I was like, is this a twist that no one ever mentioned to me? Because this would have been amazing.
Yeah, you're making me want to see this thing.
That scene is great. I was like, if they kept that forward through the whole movie, because like the dog starts barking, he's freaking out. He's like, what the fuck? And then he doesn't say anything, but like he's still silent, but everything else is making sounds. I'm just like, oh my god, this is amazing. And then it went back to being a straight up silent movie.
So that's your thoughts on the artist. What did you think about the acting? I mean, he won Best Actor.
I don't know. I figure you could. I think you get a lot of people to do that role.
Really?
Yeah.
Scott,
yeah.
I'm shocked.
It's a lot of
I love this movie.
over exaggeration because they're not speaking, so you just get a lot of people just like overreacting.
Don't hold
stuff.
back, Scott. Go ahead.
You have shattered Scott's world right now.
Okay, that's fair. I can understand.
For the listeners, Scott irate, just fuming in his chair.
Like I see no difference between his performance and like John Goodman's. Like if he's up, then why isn't John Goodman up? Because they did the same thing. That type of thing, right?
Interesting. Well, I mean, John Goodman didn't have that big of a part. Like,
yeah, he could have been like up for Best Supporting if you're using like the same criteria.
And he wasn't, obviously?
No.
I guess. I mean,
it was shot really well. There's a couple cool scenes where like there's one scene where like he's standing in front of like a projector and it's just like blinding white light behind him and stuff. That looked really, really cool in like black and white. You got that cool like that contrast. But yeah, overall movie was okay. It's brief. It goes by pretty quick.
wow. Okay.
So I'm keeping score,
Yeah.
Tim. That's 2 movies Scott has recommended that he jizzes
yeah,
for.
but one of them. Okay, to be fair, John Carter, which is one of those.
One is an Oscar winner.
That John Carter is like it's
the other's John Carter.
It's
a personal Scott.
What's the word for
guilty
it?
pleasure?
It's a guilty pleasure.
Nostalgic.
It's like my love for Riddick.
It's a guilty. Yeah, it's a guilty pleasure. Like I understand John Carter's not that good of a movie, but I like it. But the artist,
fair.
wow. Did that? There's a scene like near the end. I don't want to spoil, but like it gets pretty emotional. Did that do anything for you at all?
I don't know what scene you're talking about. Oh, okay.
When the dog comes in. And...
Yeah, no, not really. That was kind of funny. It's kind of silly.
Oh,
It's like a Lassie type moment where like
God is not.
it was like
having
Lassie.
For the viewers out there, I literally cried.
The dog was fantastic.
I literally cried during this movie.
And Tim looked at it and thought, wow, this is silly.
I saw it in theaters, and like everyone was like, I don't know, like the dog was really good too.
The dog was really good. It's probably the best trained dog I've ever seen.
People were saying like the dog should get nominated, like jokingly, for an Oscar for best.
I think it's amazing how they got the dog to not speak.
It's like the ball from Wilson. Castaway should have been up for something.
Seriously, wow.
Tim, let me ask you. I haven't seen The Artist. Me and Tim, I thought, had a pact not to see it. We thought Scott had lost his marbles.
I love doing this to you guys.
Yeah,
I refuse to see a movie and then I see it.
I've learned my lesson not to believe you. It looks to me like it'll be the type of movie that's forgotten in like 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
And everyone will be like looking back to the Oscar history and be like, whoa, The Artist like swept?
Yeah.
Or like won most of the major awards? That's insane.
Like the director is like a one-hit director.
Yeah, like he hasn't done anything since like of note.
Yeah.
Nothing before of note either.
Bunch of French stuff.
Yeah, I mean that year I can kind of understand. Like it wasn't that strong of a year. I like Moneyball, and what else? There was
Drive.
Drive was snubbed
Scott?
that year, famously.
Dude, I love Drive. Drive should have been nominated, but I don't think it would have won Best Picture. But I mean, come on, it didn't even get nominated, so you know it wasn't going to win. Drive is like top 10 for me movies of all time. So obviously I love that movie, but the rest of the movies that got nominated, like it wasn't that strong of a year. So Artist kind of, you know, it was a good enough movie that it got the people thinking about it. It was a silent black and white film, which wasn't done that often. So I mean, I could see why, but wow, I really like it.
So your reels were what again?
Like a heavy 3.
Heavy 3 reels for Tim Bid, eh?
Yeah.
would you recommend seeing it though, Tim?
Yeah, for me,
Um,
a guy who is horrified at
there's
the
probably
notion.
other movies that are more important for you to see than The Artist.
Because I feel, as a cinephile, I should see a
I'm
Best Picture
devastated.
winner.
Yeah.
Eventually.
This is not sitting well with Scott.
Good.
I'm shocked. All right, but yeah,
Scott's in tears.
someone else can take their.
He's crying as
Moving
much as
on.
he did when he
Please,
watched The
someone
Artist.
change the subject.
Who wants to jump in with their last scene other than me? Ty.
You guys?
Ty.
What
Step
was
right up, Ty.
What was the last movie you saw? You've been telling us this is greasy, so
This is.
we got to get down to the nitty gritties here.
I don't use the word greasy very often,
You don't.
and I have to say this one. This is greasy.
This takes the cake for Grease.
I don't know. I've had some greasy ones. This is up there. I wouldn't say it's
Okay,
tasting cake, but it's up there.
Greasier than half of Avatar.
Underworld Extended Edition.
That's pretty. I happen to love those movies.
Oh shit.
Okay,
It's pretty long.
so I'll start with the synopsis.
Sure.
In the late 1960s and 1970s, fear grips the city of San Francisco as a serial killer called Zodiac stalks the
Oh
residents.
shit!
Yeah.
This is not what I thought it was.
No, me either.
No? Okay.
Not me either.
Okay, hold on. I want to hear what you guys thought it was. Investigators Mark Ruffalo and Anthony Edwards and reporters Jake Gyllenhaal and Robert Downey Jr. become obsessed with the learning of the killer's identity and bringing him to justice. Meanwhile, Zodiac claims victim after victim and taunts the authorities with cryptic messages, ciphers, and menacing phone calls. Of course, I'm talking about 07 Zodiac.
Nice.
What did you guys think I was talking about?
I was guessing Godfather, which is another really long movie.
Okay.
Scott said Godfather. I was like, that's brilliant. It has to be. What else is that long? I had no idea, because for listeners, Ty had teased us by saying it was 2 hours and 42 minutes. I had no idea Zodiac was that long.
Yeah.
Really?
I should have guessed that because you asked me for this movie this week.
I did. I'm surprised you didn't get that.
I missed.
I
missed
posted
that
it in the chat, actually.
Wow. So what do you think of Zodiac?
You know what? It was good. I wanted to like it more than I did.
Okay.
I think that was the problem.
You were influenced by
I remember
us.
that was the reception it had at the time.
Like, I really,
That's not great.
I was interested by it. I had amazing actors that I really like Mark Ruffalo, Robert Downey Jr., all these actors that I love. And it just,
Freddie J was in this? Wow.
yeah, and I just,
I forgot he was in this.
I didn't like it as much as I wanted to.
Jakey G? Did
Yeah.
you even list him?
See, that's the thing.
You hate
You know
him,
what?
eh? You-
No, this is probably my favorite movie of his.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Really?
Directed by David Fincher.
David
of
Fincher,
course.
yeah, whom you guys all love.
Over Prisoners?
Yeah, I like this Gyllenhaal's performance in this more than
he was
Prisoners.
great in it, yeah.
Question for you:
Mm,
do you have a problem with the supposed non-ending?
I do.
Okay,
There was
there's a lot of criticism about
it was a
movies that
zero
doesn't have
payoff
an
ending.
Yeah,
It was
Spoiler free.
I find it
no,
does have
it's
I find it does have a proper ending.
Yeah, I like the ending.
well, the ending
You
wasn't
do.
really an ending. That's the problem.
I kind of agree with the masses. I found the ending puzzling. It's very...
Last thing, it was still an open
Puzzling.
case, right? There was no actual answer to the like. They never actually found out who Zodiac was.
Spoilers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
spoiler alert.
There's
like-
no spoilers. It's an open case,
Yeah, it's based on
so like it's all a true story. But it was good. Just I expected a bigger payoff at the end. Like I knew very little about this case to begin with, so going into it, I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'll, the end will be amazing, and it was just like, all right, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't like straight out like, we got the bad guy.
Yeah, like
pull off his mask.
They
and,
didn't
like,
tie it up in a
reveal
nice
him.
bow.
I'm not sure
it
what
was
that
just-
accent was.
Is it Fargo?
It was, I don't know, Scooby Doo or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes, I know what you mean.
there's a couple of good scenes in that movie. Like,
Oh no, there were good scenes.
There's a pretty
Like
brutal
good
stabbing
moments.
scene in it.
Yeah,
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah.
See, I
You
saw
You see
this...
like the night going in and shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I saw this when it came out, so I can barely remember it, to be honest. It needs a rewatch from me.
It's like, in my opinion, it only started getting interesting about 2 hours into the movie.
Wow, Jesus
Yeah.
and it
Christ.
starts getting into it.
Yeah,
The basement scene with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Freaky.
is exceptionally creepy.
Yeah.
That's what I remember. That seems amazing.
and I don't know, like there was a part of that scene that I still have questions about, but I don't know.
Was there?
I don't know.
Was there?
Was there?
Was
that's all.
there?
That's all I gotta say.
Yeah,
There's that one moment where the guy's like, he's like, oh, something about my basement, and then Jake Gyllenhaal's like, well, you have a basement? Like, that's not common.
not a lot of
It's
people
like,
have basements.
Yeah, and
I
the guy's
do.
like, I do. And it was just like, what the fuck? That's creepy.
Someone's gonna die.
Creepy.
Um,
Shit.
The one thing that really bugged me about this movie though was they didn't focus enough on the ciphers. which really pissed me off. Like that, like when you see the trailer, like the entire trailer was all about the ciphers and how important it was, and how that there was all this big puzzle and nothing.
Like I said.
They they really focused on them.
I need to give it a rewatch.
I can't remember. Elaborate.
The ciphers were like, you know, like the puzzles that Zodiac would send the newspapers.
Right.
Okay.
And so like in the trailers, it was all about that. You know, I was Jake Gyllenhaal figuring it out, and
Right.
like they kept showing that over and over again, but they barely even like discussed them in the movies. Like they were there. That's more of a signature.
Not
but
enough puzzle solving sequences.
yeah,
That's fair.
Not enough for you?
yeah.
I don't remember. I wish I could
So-
remember
What
Zodiac.
would you rate Zodiac?
What would I rate Zodiac? Well, I believe it has 89 on Rotten Tomatoes.
You were going to say 5.
I was going to say 5, but then I remember I was thinking about something else. 89 on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's pretty high. That's really high.
It is.
Beloved.
I'm
one
going
might say.
to
Critically acclaimed, you would say.
I'm going to go to a low 3.
Wow.
Light 3.
Light 3.
I was
Light
gonna
3.
get
I know
ya.
you were. You guy.
Get it right.
A light 3.
Light 3
Oh,
reels.
Light
three
3.
reels for Zodiac.
Yeah.
Ruthless.
I would have loved to have given it a 5. I felt like it would have been a 5-banger for me, but it just
Well,
it
hey,
wasn't.
the Gyllen hate continues. No big deal.
Wow. Hey, he said it was
I
his
never
favorite
said
Gyllenhaal
hate.
performance. Come on, bud. Let's move over
Ryan
to
Gosling. I hate Ryan Gosling.
Okay.
Let's move over to you, Adam.
I'll fight him. I will.
What was the last movie you saw, Adam? Let's
Well,
get into
boys, the last movie I happened to see.
it. It was animated, right?
How'd you know, you little shit?
Well, I know you watched 6 animated movies that day.
And I logged 5 of which on Letterboxd, leaving the final animated film off Letterboxd till right now.
Maybe the one you like, because you didn't give anything higher than 3.5 to any of those animated movies, which appalled me. But
Which appalled me.
what was the last movie you saw?
Last movie I saw was Pixar's Up.
Really?
Get wrecked.
You haven't seen Up?
Until
Was that not an emotional joyride?
Wednesday, October 21st. I'll get to what I thought of
Okay.
it. Written and directed by Pixar affiliate Pete Docter and Pixar affiliate Bob Peterson. Pete Docter, director
Did you do
of
Inside Out?
this year's Inside Out and Monsters, Inc. and I believe Finding Nemo.
Wow.
He's doing the upcoming Finding Dory.
Legendary.
Starring Edward Asner, Christopher Plummer, Jordan Nagai, and Bob Peterson himself. The synopsis: a 70-year-old Carl Fredrickson travels to Paradise Falls in his home equipped with balloons, inadvertently taking a young stowaway. Just a vague synopsis. I fucking loved this movie.
Really? Nice.
You mentioned I had only given those animated movies like 3.5s that day.
Yeah.
Nothing jumped out at me, possibly because I watched this one first.
True. Did you cry?
What are you rating it? I'm sorry. I'm like,
What?
I gotta know what you're rating it. You said you fucking loved it. I gotta know.
Wow, you're not even gonna tease it, eh?
I'm teasing it. You can wait, you son of a bitch. Visually, stunning. I'm sure Baby Blue helped with that. The old Blu-ray.
You're welcome.
Thank you to Tim for the...
Thanks for
Wow,
that.
so Tim knew about this.
I lent it to him. I lent him like
Wow.
a couple hours as well, though.
Okay, that's fair.
More than the visuals don't matter unless you have someone to root for. The most emotional first 10 minutes of a film I've ever seen. It was...
Pretty famous, I guess,
Yeah.
for being incredibly emotional.
Everyone talks about that scene.
Yeah.
It... For a quote-unquote kids movie, I was amazed at like the maturity and the dark subject matter that they brought to it. And for the listeners that haven't seen it, there's just like a montage of the main character's life, basically, and where he's at now in his life at 70 years old. And it just brings so much weight to the main character that you are instantly like rooting for this old man.
You see what he's been through. You don't just see an old grumpy old man. You see what he was.
It opened my eyes to like in like real life that like when you just see an older person on the street, it's not just
a grumpy old person,
a
like
blank face. Yeah, it's not just
there's a story.
they've lived 70, 80, 90 years of experience, right? And so that right off the bat I was hooked. And then you couple in like classic Pixar witty like writing and humor. I thought the characters were hilarious. The laughs were there, like genuine good laughs. Some of the editing too reminded me of like a live action movie. You don't really see great editing in animation, but like the scene where Fredrickson's holding the kid and trying to lower him out of the floating house, and he like drops him. The kid's like falling to his death, and then boom, it snap cuts, and he was just like dreaming. Like, it was like a imagination sequence.
Well, I find a lot of times like animated movies, they use shots that are like impossible in real life a lot. But when you see animated movies like do something like cuts like that, like something that you could imagine like someone could have shot if they were like had a crew there, like those shots I like when they do more shots like that, because then it feels more like cinematic, because it's more like shots that we're used to kind of thing, but done in an interesting way instead of like a crazy fantastical like shot that can be impossible in real life. But continue.
Like like when it brings like cinematography to an animated
like real
movie.
Cinematography. Yeah.
That's exactly
instead of just crazy visuals.
And just I don't know, just directed and written with the maturity. Like, they raised the bar for a kids movie. It didn't feel like a kids movie to me. I watched it with my girlfriend Emily. I said to her, like, this isn't a kids movie. This is next level, like intelligence.
It's for
heart.
everyone.
It's for like kids, adults, anyone could really appreciate it. Now I'm starting to open my eyes to the greatness of Pixar, because I also watched Wall-E that day. It was good, 3.5. Didn't love it. This one blew me out of the park, and it was rewarded by the Academy with the Best Original Screenplay nomination, Best Sound Editing, Best Score, which I thought was great, classic Pixar score, jazzy type of vibe, Best Animated Picture, and the big one, Best Picture. Those were all nominations. It won Best Animated Picture and Best Score.
Okay.
Lost out on Best Picture to The Hurt Locker. But, I don't know. I thought it easily could have won.
What do you think of the... Because my one issue with that movie is the kind of last third of the movie. Like, I didn't love the end kind of set piece kind of
plane chasing.
That just didn't do much for me. Like, when there's some other characters that joined the movie at that point, and like, I don't know, it didn't hit me as much as the first like half, which was great.
I know exactly what you mean. I thought the exact same thing. I thought when the first half, you're just hanging out.
Even 2/3, like
first 2/3, you're just hanging out with these characters and getting to know them, and this old man is so lovable, and Justin is like the grumpy, crotchety old man, but having seen what he's been through, you completely understand why he is this way. Yeah. And just seeing him deal with obstacles in his life is just, I don't know, it's heartwarming just to watch him. I just want to hang out with these characters. And then the third act, they take it to like an Indiana Jones-esque,
it felt like
massive, epic scale adventure. And throughout the movie, the child that he befriends, who, like, they have something in common. The main character having lost his wife, the child not being without his father, he's kind of abandoned by his father. He has this like mantra that he says it's weird, but the boring moments are the moments I remember the most. I thought that was kind of like a meta line for the movie, because like, it's not about the big action adventure moments. I care more about when like him and this kid are bonding, and just building this friendship, right? So it just really touched me. Great emotional payoff at the end also. Got a little misty-eyed. Get the windshield wipers out. Heavy 4 reels.
Nice.
Out of 5 for the rating, Mr. Switolsky.
Does that mean it's a 4.5 on Letterboxd?
That means it's a 4.5 on Letterboxd. Wow. Loved it.
I find that it's very similar to Wall-E, where like the last like third is like, it just gets a little bit too, I don't know, typical.
It just went downhill for me for the last third of Wall-E. It just went...
So similar.
You guys agree? You guys love Up? Or
what?
Similar kind of trajectory.
It's pretty lower on my Pixar list, but
really,
as I mentioned on my
8,
list,
I think?
it's I have it 8th. Yeah. But on my list, I say 1 through 8 are flip-floppable. Yeah. Totally. Like, those first 8 are like...
Heavy Force.
All Heavy Force. They could be anywhere in that list.
Making a top 10 Pixar list is like impossible.
It's really hard to do.
Wow.
I'm just thinking like Toy Story.
Like above it, I have Toy Story 1, 2, and 3, Monsters Inc., Wall-E, Incredibles, and something else.
Wow.
If my math works out there.
Pixar can flex.
Nemo? And then No,
Venus
Nemo
frogs.
is below.
Interesting. All right, well, I think I'm gonna jump in with my last scene.
Take over, bud.
Yeah, I got a nice little tie-in here. You guys might like. So I'll give you the synopsis first. 4 weeks after a mysterious, incurable virus spreads throughout the UK, a handful of survivors try to find sanctuary. Yes. Directed by Danny Boyle.
Don't you say it. Holy shit.
Written by Alex Garland, who also did Ex Machina this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shit.
Written by
Big
Alex
fan. Big
Garland.
fan.
Starring Cillian Murphy,
Nice.
Naomi Harris, Moneypenny, and
Samantha Bond,
shit,
or
she is Moneypenny.
yep,
okay.
Christopher Eccleston and Brendan Gleeson. This is, of course, 28 Days Later.
Yeah.
Came out November 1st, 2002. Finally saw this movie. This movie's been on my watch list for a long time. I can't believe I hadn't seen this movie before now. But, wow. 28 Days Later. I really enjoyed 28 Days Later. I like it. It's the first movie that really, when you think about it, that did zombies in this way. You guys don't know. These, Cillian Murphy, I mean, I wonder if this was written before The Walking Dead. Because the beginning of
it wasn't.
the graphic novel.
I believe I'm like almost 100% sure that The Walking Dead was before this.
Tim, hit up your memory banks for me.
Almost
On it.
100%.
Because it starts
Impossible.
out with Cillian Murphy waking up in like a hospital,
Mm-hmm.
like the exact same way that Rick Grimes does in Walking Dead. So it's very similar like that. Very similar that zombie movies start like this.
This
Tim?
came out in 2002.
Yeah.
Walking Dead started in 2003.
Wow. So yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
can see the similarities
I
there.
knew it.
Okay,
Get
so
wrecked.
we're never
fucking
listening to
wrecked.
another story that Tyler says.
And
ever.
Oh,
yeah,
we
and
stopped that a long time ago.
Yeah.
this was also one of the first movies that kind of started a wave who did zombies that were like rage zombies,
Aggressive.
that ran
Yeah.
fast, like that's scary to me. And also the sort of idea of having zombies as it's sort of a virus that spreads. It was one of the first movies to do that. One of the first zombie stories to do that. Before that, it was just reanimated corpses, like
Yeah. Resident Evil.
coming out of a grave, like arm coming out of the dirt, like reanimated corpses. Whereas this was like a virus that spread through like blood and that sort of thing, which at the time was revolutionary. I like that aspect of it. It was done really well. The acting was good. I mean, the plot, I mean, it could have gone a few different ways. I mean, there's only so many different ways you can go with a zombie movie, like survivors band together to escape zombies, caper along the way. And
Much like WALL-E or Up, last 1/3 is a action set piece.
Yeah, I mean,
Sunshine, another Danny Boyle movie.
Yeah.
there's usually
Alex Garland.
Steve Jobs.
yeah,
Yeah.
but there's usually
But
like
it's
a
pretty
sanctuary
action-based.
that they're trying to find,
Yeah.
a safe haven, and you know Christopher Eccleston is like a army kind of person, a person in the army. I'm not sure what his position was, but there's like an army base, and it sort of follows some similar kind of tropes with zombie movies. But I really like the editing. The music was great. The acting was good. I like Cillian Murphy. I wish he was in more kind of leading roles. And Brendan Gleeson was good. I liked him, but
He was great.
Big Glees, man.
the editing really added to like the intensity of it, because just the scenes with the zombies just going rage, like that was like intense. So, what did you guys think? Have you guys seen 28 Days Later?
Mm-hmm.
I think me and Adam are in agreement with this one.
Yeah,
This movie's amazing.
nice.
Yeah, I've seen it, Scott. If you guys will take a little pause this, head over to my Letterboxd account, Upreal Adam. You'll see top 10 horror films of all time. Atop the list, 28 Days Later.
What?
Wow.
Really?
With a 5-banger.
Numero uno, eh?
Wow.
Masterpiece, set the bar for zombie films as we knew it the last decade. Way ahead of its time. Genuinely terrifying, creepy atmosphere.
Zombies are big right now with Walking Dead. Like they're
What more can I
huge.
say?
Like
Biggest show on
probably
TV.
because of 28 Days Later. And clearly,
Probably.
judging by when you looked up the dates,
Yeah.
like
This was
28
either
days later
Obviously,
informed.
like it was either
Walking Dead.
2002 or 2003. Still unconfirmed. We're not sure. We're still looking into it.
I think the most impressive thing in this movie, or one of the most impressive thing, is the opening shots of London.
Oh,
that are just completely. They had to shut down London.
The logistics of shooting those scenes.
They had like an hour a day to do it or something. Like
from
that.
5
insane.
to 6.
Yeah.
For the viewers out there, Cillian Murphy, like I mentioned earlier, he woke up in a hospital and he's just wandering through London, and the streets are just completely empty.
Yeah.
Piccadilly Circus, Trafalgar Square. He's walking through those main massive busy streets and they're just completely empty.
Now that's atmosphere. That's how you get atmosphere.
That was a great start to a movie.
Danny Boyle, my man.
I was impressed.
Yeah.
Wow. Get to see Cillian's entire.
You get to see all.
Bod.
You get to see all of Cillian Murphy. That's for sure.
Just thought I'd throw that out there, Phyllis.
Yeah, just if you guys want a little bit more to get you to see 20.
I think I have to rewatch this.
Interesting, you realize that now.
Yeah, I think I have to go back and rewatch it.
You got to see that Cillian.
Are you gonna follow us up with 28 weeks later?
I do have 28 weeks later, and I do plan on following up with that.
A couple things, just watch out for. Not quite as good.
I've heard that.
But the opening scene is almost as good as anything in 28 Days Later.
I have heard that, and I have actually seen that opening scene before.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Amazing scene.
It's unreal.
It's making
the
me
opening scene.
Yeah.
Unfucking real.
I'm gonna say heavy 4 reels on 28 Days Later.
Thank you.
I really like this, and even though I have, seen all these zombie movies since and seen all the zombie kind of fad happening, going back to see something like this that started that trend, I was kind of like hesitant, like, am I gonna like it? But I really enjoyed this movie thoroughly, so definitely recommend it for you guys out there. See 28 Days Later, and I think with that, we'll get into next movie we're going to review this week, and that is Steve Jobs, directed by Danny Boyle, tie in there 28 Days Later, written by Aaron Sorkin, starring Michael Fassbender as Steve Jobs, Kate Winslet, Seth Rogen, Jeff Daniels, Catherine Waterston, and Michael Stuhlbarg round out the cast. It's the story of Steve Jobs. It's not quite the biopic the traditional biopic, because it was set, this sort of a little synopsis here, set backstage at 3 iconic product launches, ending in 1998 with the unveiling of the iMac. Steve Jobs takes us behind the scenes of sort of painting a portrait of the man behind Apple. Let's get into Steve Jobs. What do we think about Steve Jobs? Let's start with you, Tim. Let's give your initial thoughts here. You just saw it tonight.
Saw it a few hours ago with the girlfriend.
Shout out to Ashley.
Shout out to Ashley.
Shout out to Ashley. It was good. It was a little melodramatic, I guess, because there's no way all those things actually happened
minutes before.
Like, that's just...
We all know that.
We know that,
yeah.
So that's just Hollywood doing it. But yeah, it's good. It's good.
You liked it.
Yeah. We can talk about more. You want me to keep going with some points I have about it?
Just keep it vague. I think we should all do vague and then give.
Well, won't do any spoilers.
Details, right?
Directing was okay. Danny Boyle didn't go full Danny Boyle on it, which he happens to do.
That's true.
Michael Fassbender was great.
Performances, yeah.
He was really good. Kate Winslet was odd, I find.
Really? I really liked her performance.
I had a big problem with it. I can talk about it, I guess.
Okay, let's get into that later.
You want to say Scott might agree with me if he wants to hold off on it.
Well, we should all give what we thought, and then
generally, there you go.
Okay,
Tyler, what do you think?
What do you think of Steve Jobs, Ty?
I thought it was cool because you know what, compared to the other stuff we've seen about Steve Jobs, it kind of painted him in a different way we haven't really seen yet. You hear that he was revolutionary.
Do you know much about Steve Jobs' personal life before this movie?
No, here's the thing. I didn't know a lot about. You hear he was revolutionary. He was he had all these. He's so creative, all these amazing ideas. But
Steve Jobs, Apple.
Exactly, but you heard all. But then after especially after Ashton Kutcher's movie came out, you heard about how people say well he was kind of an asshole and.
Ashton Kutcher was in a Steve Jobs movie? I didn't hear about that.
You didn't hear about that one? You didn't?
No, what's that about?
You didn't hear about that one, eh?
It's better off that you don't.
Anyways.
I'm kidding, I knew.
They would go on, they'd be like, he was kind of an asshole, right? And then everyone was just like, really? And then this kind of shed light on that, which was, I think, kind of cool because you got to see him in a different light than we all know him as.
I mean, I heard he was a tough boss, but I didn't realize the extent of it was. But
yeah.
Adam, let's move over to you.
That's cool, yeah, no, I was done. I was fine.
He's done. On to me. Well, what
Story
did
time.
you didn't reveal? Do you?
No, I
hate
was
it?
actually done.
Hate it, love it. Well, you didn't say if you liked it or not. You just said it was cool.
No, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really it was
Interesting.
Okay.
yeah, it was a nice contrast from
Scott, you can give what you thought. I'll leave my thoughts in.
All right. You know what? I really liked this movie. I didn't love it, but I liked. I mean, to be fair, I'm a pretty big Apple fan. That didn't influence me that much, but
Wow. No.
yeah, it was just interesting. I didn't even know that Next. Like, do you guys even know that was a thing?
No.
On the computer. I didn't even know that existed.
I didn't
Because
know.
the three product launches were the first Mac, and also the next computer after Steve Jobs left, did his own thing, and then when he came back to Apple, he did the iMac.
exactly 10 years later.
Yeah. So those are the three product launches, and the next, I didn't even, like I said, I didn't even know that was a thing. So it was interesting to see that, and also, learn a little bit more about the behind the scenes of Steve Jobs. I thought Fassbender was fantastic. I think he's a lock for Best Actor nomination. I think for sure he's going to get nominated. Kate Winslet possibly could get nominated for Best Supporting Actress. Everyone keeps saying Seth Rogen.
No, he did nothing for me.
I don't see it.
I have to agree with you. I kept hearing like so many spots on the radio saying how amazing Seth Rogen was in this movie. I was like, he was in it for like 15 minutes.
It's the
20
Jonah Hill
minutes.
effect. That, you know what? Jonah Hill got nominated for like Moneyball and Wolf of Wall Street, and they're like, oh, a comedic actor doing like a serious, like, oh, he's playing Steve Wozniak. Like, this could be like Oscar potential, but
I'd rather see Michael Stuhlbarg get an Oscar nom over Seth Rogen.
Michael Stuhlbarg, who was actually watched A Serious Man a few weeks ago, which is a Coen Brothers film, and he was the star of that movie.
He was up for an Oscar that year for that.
Yeah, I really enjoyed him in that movie, and I was happy to see him here. I think
Yeah.
he did a really good job as Andy Hertzfeld. Yeah, overall I liked it. Jeff Daniels was pretty good in it too. I liked him.
Yeah.
JD.
I thought the editing was pretty good. I liked the flashbacks.
Yeah,
there was a
like
little
that.
bit of flashback going on.
Yeah.
I liked the editing with that, sort of cutting in between. There's a few scenes of him going back and forth with Jeff Daniels. I really liked those scenes.
Yeah.
I mean, it did seem, like you're saying, the one kind of knock on it is that it did seem melodramatic, where it was like, okay, who's next? Who's next do I talk to? Who do I talk to next? There's like a lineup of people.
It was the same thing at each release. It's like his daughter comes in, he wants to talk to her, and then Andy has to talk to him, and this other guy has to talk to him, and they all have to bring up major things.
Winslet is like trying to reel him in the whole time.
Yeah.
And, like, it was very similar each time, but overall I liked it. But Adam, I want to hear your thoughts on Steve Jobs. You pull up the memory banks there.
I'm just trying to remember my memory banks here. My memory's been jogged though, instantly. Don't worry.
Steve Jobs, remember? Did you see that movie?
Which one?
What are your thoughts on that?
You guys all sound like you thought it was fine, just vanilla, pretty decent, pretty good.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
What'd you guys think? Good.
I really liked
What
it.
did you say?
I really liked it.
Oh,
I
you
didn't.
really liked
I didn't love it, but I really liked it.
Well, I loved this movie.
Really?
I've been thinking about it since I saw it on Saturday, and I can't stop thinking about it.
I thought you were going to go the opposite way with this.
Blew me away.
Wow.
I'm in love.
Wow.
Like,
You
I'd
love-
marry it if
Wow.
I could.
You would marry Steve Jobs. He just rolled over in his grave.
R.I.P. Acting, unreal. Fassbender, he pulled the Tom Hardy, completely changed his voice. Like, the second he started talking, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't
killed
know.
it.
I heard no inch of Fassbender in his voice.
No.
I will bet my life that he gets a Best Actor nomination. I don't know about when, but
Watch out for Leo D.
I think
Yeah.
Leo D should watch out, because he always has
Yeah.
that reputation of
Yeah, true.
releasing a movie every year that someone does an amazing job.
Leo D will be up too. There's
yeah.
5 slots. Let's not forget for Best Actor.
Oh yeah.
Kate Winslet, I thought was unreal. Incredible Polish accent.
No, I thought she was
Her
amazing.
character is from Poland.
Wait,
if you
wait,
guys
wait.
didn't
Since
know.
we're bringing this up, this is my problem. You didn't notice her accent just slipped out
Okay, it came and went.
like every other
No.
scene.
yeah.
One scene she's straight up like American, and then next scene she's doing her accent, and then it's back to being American. I'm like, this is not. It was distracting for me.
I think it was
I
just
didn't
a
even- I
subtle
didn't even notice
accent.
it.
Really,
Remember,
it wasn't
she's-
subtle. There's some scenes where it's like really heavy.
Yeah.
And then there's some scenes where it's like not there, and she just sounds like she does in all of her American movies.
At first I was like, is she struggling to hide her British accent, trying to be American? Then when she says that she's from Poland, I was like, that's fucking unreal. Remember, she's a British woman doing a Polish accent, but a Polish person who grew up in America. So it's 3 levels of accents she's pulling off there. She's hiding her British accent.
Still.
It's an accent within an accent within an accent. Oscar nomination, guaranteed. I will put my life on it.
Inception boom right there. Inception noise.
Could have been, and remember, let me preface this. I hate vanilla Oscar bait biopics, so I was blown away because I thought I was not excited for this. I thought for sure that's what it would be, and it blew my mind.
Just the format of this movie is totally unlike any other biopic that's ever been done.
Yeah.
Honestly, like the way it was structured,
like it's not really a biopic.
Fantastic. It's just
a movie with Steve Jobs.
Series of events in it. Like it's always just literally just a series of events.
The writing, the writing was so snappy too. But.
Yeah, brilliant writing from Aaron Sorkin. That's like, Michael Jordan's really good at basketball. We know Aaron Sorkin's a genius, writer of Social Network.
Charlie Wilson's War.
What was the TV series he did? The West Wing?
The Newsroom and The West Wing.
I didn't know the Newsroom.
So, just really punched up the dialogue with like really witty humor from Michael Fassbender,
Newsroom,
Steve Jobs.
Jeff Daniels. Maybe that's
another connection there. I had to stifle my laughter. The entire crowd, me and Switty saw it. Was like dead. It was all 80-year-old people. They were just crickets.
Just
the whole time. I'm just like trying so hard not to laugh. I thought it was hilarious. Danny Boyle brings a great visual style to the movie in what otherwise would have been a very vanilla movie, like I said.
Yeah.
When different things like bringing up, newspaper text on the screen, just little tricks like that with cinematography and stuff, and when he's referencing the space shuttle blowing up, just showing that on the side of the wall.
Yeah, I thought that scene was really cool. Like, I was like, wait, how is there a projection? But then I was like, that's just a really cinematic.
Danny Boyle, and he has moments like that in his other movies. The score I thought was amazing as well. It was like a character in the movie. Like every time I heard it creeping in, it was like classical music mixed with digital. Kind of reminded me of the Trent Reznor type of score.
Interesting.
And I thought I put in the memory banks plays like a thriller.
Yeah.
Like I guess we're doing a spoiler section, right?
No, yeah.
I'm saying
we will.
We will do a spoiler section today.
I guess so. We've done it for 16 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
We've never done it before.
I guess we'll do it again.
Let's try it.
We'll stick with the format.
So everything else I have a spoiler, but needless to say, blew me away, loved it.
Alright, and any other...
Fuck you all for thinking it was good, not great.
Wow.
Catherine Waterston was pretty good. She didn't have a huge role as Chris-Anne, who was his sort of ex-wife. I'm not sure exactly if it was his ex-wife or just a ex-girlfriend, maybe. She's kind of... I've seen her in a few movies recently. She's kind of on the rise, I think. She was in Inherent Vice. I think she's been in a couple other things.
I remember her.
I think we should keep an eye out on her going forward. But and it was interesting to see the daughter as well, kind of like grow up, because his relationship with his daughter, I was like, wow, he kept like, wow. We'll get into that.
Well, I should say I knew nothing about Steve Jobs' personal life whatsoever. And another thing I liked, he comes off as an asshole in this movie.
Oh, totally.
Which, again, I was saying I hate the vanilla biopics of Hollywood. Loved that they didn't hold back whatsoever. Like, if anything, they make him look like a bad person in this movie. And no spoilers. I thought there's a great emotional payoff.
I enjoyed it.
I liked the ending of this movie, but
okay.
Well,
I'm underselling it, but I loved the ending. Can't stop thinking about it. Very misty-eyed, like closest I've been to rolling a tear in a long time.
That doesn't happen very often with you, does it?
No. Like, Up didn't get a full tear. This was a harder...
Up didn't get a tear?
This is a harder emotional payoff for me than Up. I will get to it in the spoilers. Well, I guess I can't. It's vaguely saying.
Let's give our real rating here.
I'm passionate about this movie.
Let's start with you, Adam. I think we all kind of might have a guess here what you give it, but let's start with you. What would you rate Steve Jobs?
It was sitting on a heavy 4 coming into right now, but I kind of want to give it the spite inflation, just because you all liked it, didn't love it, and the more I talk about it, the more I like it.
You 5-banging this one?
I think you're gonna bang it 5 times. Is that right?
5-banger, fuck it.
Wow.
I'm doing it. I don't give a shit. Deal
I did
with
not
it.
expect
Ballsy.
Leave in the comments if you think I'm fucked in the head.
that.
Probably get a couple
I
of
get a lot of comments saying you're fucking in the head.
I'm gonna jump in here. I'm gonna give it 4 to 5 reels. Not a light 4, not a heavy 4. 4 to 5 reels.
I can respect that.
I really like this movie. I think it's, as far as biopics goes, it's standing above a lot of other biopics out there. So I definitely recommend it. Definitely go and check out Steve Jobs. 4 to 5 for me. Tim.
I want to see where Tyler lands on this first. And then I'll give my
All right, Tyler.
rating.
I
Thoughts
kind of
on
know where
this?
Tim lands on this.
Thoughts on Steve Jobs?
I'm going to give this a light 4. Light 4. It was...
I'll let you live for that. You can live. I thought I'd have to kill you, but that's fine.
No. It was interesting. 'Cause it's something that I hadn't seen before. You know, like usually in a biopic you see, you know, this entire event, like this entire life leading up to something. This was just an event. It was really well done.
Fair enough. Tim, over to you.
Apparently, I'm
Back to
the
you.
Oh,
outcast again this week.
I'm gonna throw my
With
drink
you
in
guys
your
loving
face.
Crimson Peak. Heavy 3, I think, was
Wow.
where I'm going to land with this one.
I did not see that.
Adam's
No.
fuming. Sorry, we're usually so...
You guys have been off
That's why it
lately.
hurts
We're
so
kindred
bad.
spirits, usually.
Let me
Wow.
just let me just step in here, Scott, if you don't mind.
Hey, jump right in.
You love Social Network, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
What, is 5 banger? Or
No, it's probably like a
heavy 4.
heavy 4, probably, yeah.
So you're saying this film
Yeah.
is like a step down
Yeah.
from Social Network?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Fassbender is better than Jesse Eisenberg, obviously, but
Okay,
like...
thank God.
You mentioned the score reminds you of Trent Reznor. I'm like, it does, but it's not quite as good.
That's
The
Trent Reznor's
directing
score.
of Boyle's not quite. It's really good. It like fits with like the cool of Apple stuff, but it's not quite as good as Fincher did. It just felt like it was hitting almost the same beats it was trying to hit. Like you have this unlikable protagonist
Genius.
that they're trying to a genius guy that like has this certain profile in the world, and they're trying to shed him in like a new light. But I feel like Social Network did it better.
Really? I
Because
thought,
Social Network also wasn't like a typical biopic either, right? It didn't follow him from like birth to where he was. It was like we're going to show him, and then it's going to skip ahead. It's going to intersplice with like the courtroom stuff. It was really different looking. This I felt was I didn't like the backstage behind part. It felt too melodramatic. Like it would have. I was okay with him constantly talking to people, but like change it up, make him like meeting with people in his house or at his office, and just change up the pace because it just felt so constructed to me.
Okay.
Well done.
I know that
But a few of those things distract me from giving it higher than a heavy 3.
I can't disagree with your points, but I know that I love this movie and I don't love Social Network.
Fair enough.
Like I can't. Maybe it's just. I think it's the like I was saying the emotional payoff because like there's no
Yeah.
Point.
Social Network.
yeah it's spoiler free, but there's no point in Social Network where I like have any hope for Mark Zuckerberg's emotional like character arc.
Yeah.
Unlike this film, I feel there's a heavy emotional impact and there's an actual character arc.
I feel like there's a small character arc at the end.
Well, we can get into it in
We'll get into
spoilers.
it. With that, let's get into our spoiler section. Is there spoilers for you guys out there? We will be getting into some things here that happen in the movie. Anyone want to start us off? I mean, I do want to say...
You get to what we were teasing just 1 second ago?
Continue. Emotional payoff. Get into it. Get into the ending.
Yeah, okay. Should we start
Just
with
get
the
right
ending?
in.
Because I got something to say. Yeah, so obviously the scene I'm alluding to is they've built it up the entire movie as the strenuous relationship with Michael Fassbender and Steve Jobs and his
Daughter.
quote-unquote daughter,
Yeah.
who he doesn't believe early in the movie is his biological daughter. And then he, slowly grows more attached to her. By the end, they're butting heads, and they come to this full full-on clash, and everything's laid out on the table, and she reveals that she read through the internet in an old Time magazine article
what he said about not believing it.
Yeah, made some ruthless comments about her mother having slept with 28% of America's male population, so any of them could be her father, and she is leaving his biggest launch of his career, like a make or break moment for his career, and they spend the entire film with him being, so socially awkward that he only cares about these products, and he's willing to put on hold and be late for the first time ever just to go have a conversation with his daughter. And like I said, I almost rolled a tear. I feel like I'm getting choked up just saying this.
Wow.
And when he meets her face to face, he earlier in the movie, she says, my dad named the Lisa PC after me, and he has to correct her and shut her down ruthlessly, saying, no, I didn't. And then they bring it right back around full circle, and she says, why couldn't you have just lied? Why couldn't you have just lied? And he's like, I did. Obviously, I named it after you. And that
was a pretty good moment.
That moment just right in the heartstrings.
Yeah.
I was like, it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Well, here's my theory on this: is I think he knew that she was his daughter.
He didn't want to face it.
No, I think that he had faced it and he knew. I feel like he
being an asshole.
No, he was, because he was pushed down his life growing up, and he grew up knowing he was going to be great and he was going to do great things. I think that happening to him as he was growing up, I think that made him realize that. So I think he was doing the same thing to his daughter. He wanted to go to Oxford. He wanted all these things for her, right? But
he was scared to
I think he was pushing her down on purpose so that she would rise up and do amazing things.
Possibly. That's a theory.
Yeah, and it was helped by Aaron Sorkin's writing. Mm-hmm. Just such poignant writing, which also really hit me. And then, they have their moment, and she says, I think she says something to the effect of why are you such an asshole at times when you can clearly, you are a good person deep down. Yeah. And he just says the line, I'm poorly built. Yeah. And it's just so, I'm like, that is Steve Jobs. That's clear. I'm not saying he said that, but that captures his essence perfectly. That's perfectly in line with this character and what he would say. And then he drops the iPod reference, which I thought was great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess some people might consider it pandering to just Apple fans, iPod reference, but it's so much more than that to me.
To be fair, that was the iPod is revolutionary. Music,
100%.
MP3s, we don't even need to get into it. That changed the
whole
game.
movie. She's bringing around this hideous Walkman, and he tells her as she's walking away, you know what, I'm going to put music in your pocket. 1,000 songs or whatever he says.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually surprised that they didn't get into iPod, iPhone, all those launches and stuff.
I knew this was based on 3 backstage launches. I thought one of them would be the iPod. I thought it would end with the iPod.
I was so sure that they were going to show the actual speeches. I thought they were actually going to show.
Yeah.
I like that they didn't get too much into it.
Yeah.
We don't need to know the details of the products. And
well,
that's all they really get.
Yeah, no one needs to sit there and just watch it. But I thought they were gonna they'd show a little bit more about they'd show actual Steve Jobs going on and welcoming everybody and stuff like that. They'd show a brief 10-second speech, just the intro to her or something like that.
Yeah,
I thought there'd be more to it.
Well, yeah, but for me, that's what I was getting at. The emotional payoff at the end of this entire film, where they're building him up to just kind of be this cold, heartless businessman genius that only cares about product, and then the love for his daughter is so strong it breaks him at the end and gets him to admit he's a flawed man.
Yeah,
and there's the reunion of him and his daughter. Just
it was nice, and that the last minute or whatever, where kind of visually where they're just looking at each other as he's walking out, and then he walks back. That was I thought that was a really good end to a movie.
Yeah. I agree.
That was
great.
was just me, but
it's even just the lighting.
Yeah, the way the lighting was.
Back,
yeah,
it was just visually again Danny Boyle, fantastic.
Gorgeous.
What do you guys think about?
Tim? Wait, hang on, Scott. Tim, do you have anything to say about that rant I just gave?
I thought the emotional thing was okay.
Oh my god!
Get the fuck
I
out.
knew you were gonna say that.
Get out.
Touch me
Get out.
Tim,
that well. I'm
this movie touched me emotionally at the end.
Wow.
Really?
Right?
Hang on. Sorry.
Yeah.
Tyler Switolski.
I felt what I believe to be emotion. at the end of
A
this movie.
sliver of emotion in
Yeah.
your cold heart.
Yeah.
Your cold
Danny
iron
Boyle, job well done. If
Yeah.
you made this robot feel.
And you felt nothing.
heart. Job.
I felt a
well
little
done.
bit, but like he was still a dick.
See, that's the thing that really angered me.
Was
When
he?
he went out for the third time, everyone was like smiling, like, "Man, he's such a great guy." Like right at the end, like everyone was like, Steve Wozniak's like, "Man," you see like his assistant, like Kate
Winslet.
Winslet. I was gonna say Kate Winslow. That's not, like, Kate Winslet. She's just like,
Kate Bosworth? No.
no. She's just, they're all just standing there. The Dara smiling. It's like the guy was still an ass. Like he didn't even talk. Like his last
still
interaction
being-
with Steve, he was a total prick.
Yeah.
Like, why is everyone smiling and be like, "Oh, this guy's such a great guy"? No, you all hate him.
Begrudgingly respect him.
Yeah,
like,
but not with love eyes like that. Like everyone was showing like how like they thought he was an amazing guy. At the end, like all the interactions that they had, he was an asshole to them.
That's fair.
Like I see the respect, I can understand that, but I think they killed it at the end with that.
Was Wozniak clapping for him and smiling?
Yeah,
After walking out like a second earlier?
yeah,
Yeah. He comes back into the auditorium.
And he was clapping and smiling.
yeah.
After there was no making up.
Nothing.
They just had the biggest fight of their life.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense to me.
Really? I didn't even notice that he came back. To touch on what you said, by the way, I thought to say something negative, I thought Seth Rogen was Seth Rogen. Like, nothing special about him whatsoever.
Yeah,
I don't
I don't think he'll get a nomination.
I think it's false buzz. I think they're just like, it's the cool, like you said, the Jonah Hill effect.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh my god, he's in this like artsy, intelligent movie. Like, he's great in it. No, he's Seth Rogen saying big words.
Yeah,
You gotta believe this movie's gonna get nominated for Best Screenplay, though. I mean,
Best
Yeah,
original
screenplay was pretty tight.
it's gonna be up there, and I could possibly win.
Kate Winslet, Fassbender, Aaron Sorkin. Like I said, I'll bet my life.
Best Picture? I mean, what do
I'm
you guys
not
think
gonna
about
say-
Best
I-
Picture?
I see being nominated.
Me, Adam, I'm not gonna like guarantee that, but I will guarantee Fassbender.
You're not gonna
Winslet,
guarantee
Sorkin.
it like Room?
No, yeah. Oh. You remind
Don't
me every
forget
day
about that one.
bet. I bet Tim that Room with Brie Larson will get a Best Picture nomination.
Do you guys think it's surprising, though, that this movie, that you even like this movie as much as you do, considering the turmoil that the movie was going through with the Sony leaks?
I
And
totally forgot about that.
All this was supposed to be directed by Fincher, wasn't it? If I
Fincher
remember
with
correctly.
Christian Bale in it. Yeah.
Christian Bale was supposed to be Steve Jobs.
Totally
I
forgot
mean,
about that.
Do you guys think that's crazy at all that this movie got made the way it was,
tell you
considering
what-
all the turmoil?
I'll tell you what I think is crazy. The fact that I was so enthralled with the film that I didn't even think about the possibility of Fincher and Bale. Like, whereas,
Isn't that great that they were able to pull that off? I mean,
where-
it's crazy.
like I literally didn't think about that till right now.
I know.
Whereas like Ant-Man, I was like, boring. Show me Edgar Wright's version. This, I was like, just hooked. Like the entire time, I wasn't even thinking. I forgot that till right now,
And I think even
which would have been great.
there were some other actors in there. I think
Leonardo DiCaprio was supposed to be filling in for Bale,
Yeah.
and then he dropped out.
what's his face, American Sniper himself.
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper
Really?
was supposed to be in there.
Would've been
He was
great.
he was a possibility. I mean, he could have pulled it off, but Fassbender definitely.
Actually, I could see Bradley Cooper doing it.
Yeah, I think
Any of those guys would have been great.
they had the face for it. I mean, Fassbender doesn't quite look like Steve Jobs.
He does in
His
the last
face,
third. The older version
Yeah.
was like the
You guys were
most it
saying
looked like
going
him.
in, he
but
didn't look like him.
he,
I thought
he
did.
pulled off Steve Jobs. The mannerisms, everything
Yeah.
about Steve Jobs, he nailed.
If you can nail the performance, like
That's all that matters.
realistically,
That might be one of my biggest complaints about the movie was I didn't believe him to be Steve Jobs. Like
you
the
didn't
mannerisms
forget
sound,
that
yeah.
he was Fassbender.
I couldn't. Like the entire time I was looking at him, I was like, "This is
I
Fassbender.
did.
This is Fassbender."
But
Like,
at the same time, that Ashton Kutcher movie, Ashton Kutcher looks very similar to Steve Jobs. They
Yeah.
could be brothers, but that movie was like not the greatest, not known for its acting, superiority. So, yeah. Anything else we want to touch on before we move on into our news at all, or?
I've got a little thing that it's a quick little thing that I picked up on. It was very bizarre. You notice that when he does Next in 1988, when he's got the next box, the next computer there. In 1998, when he does that, or 1988, when he does that, he says that he reveals to Kate Winslet's character that he's waiting for Apple to need him.
Yeah.
Right?
He was going to build an OS that they would want.
Exactly. And so I don't know why I picked up on this, but like they showed like the Next logo. And I was like, Next? Why Next? And it was like they had the logo, like all the letters were side by side. I was like, Next? Why? And so then like I looked, I was like, X. Well, if you eliminate the X, which is the Roman numeral for 10, you have an anagram for 10. Exactly 10 years later, he was the CEO of Apple.
Boom.
What? You just went full Zodiac right there.
Right?
Yeah, you got two into Zodiac.
I did.
You just went like number 23 right there.
So
Right?
Tulska was up all night, like click-clacking on a keyboard.
Yeah.
I have to figure it out.
Unlock the key.
What does it mean?
Wow, I did not get that.
That's
I don't know. It was
So-
exactly 10 years later.
genius, anyone?
I thought it was really cool.
He was playing the long con, seriously, to get back into Apple, though.
Yeah.
To do that, I mean, 10 years. It took 10 years.
Hey, that
before
was his next move.
Mac, so, wow, I think with that, I think that'll do it for our review of Steve Jobs. I mean, I was just mentioning earlier, this movie not doing so well in the box office.
Yeah.
I think it was 7.3 million so far this weekend,
Brutal.
which is, I'm not sure, but 7 million for a movie like this, that's a bomb. I mean,
I think
that's
Pan did
not a
better
lot.
than that.
Yeah.
Pan did 15, I think.
7 million is rough, guys.
I take issue with that because a lot of the Oscar movies don't make money. Like, I don't think this was made to make money. This is made to get Oscars.
Don't you think a movie about Steve... How many people have iPhones and have Apple computers? Don't you think this movie could have got a lot more?
Well, if you
Yeah.
want to go with that rationale, I challenge you to look up how much the Ashton Kutcher one made. I guarantee you it was less than 7 million.
Yeah. Everything about this movie, though, is a step above that, though. Danny Boyle, Aaron Sorkin, Fassbender.
Yeah.
Like,
But I agree, but it doesn't surprise me because, like, how many of the Best Picture nominees are ever, like, massive blockbuster financial hits?
Jobs.
I agree with you, but...
Jobs, the Ashton Kutcher one, had a budget of 12 million, made 35.9 million at the box office,
How much opening week?
Get wrecked. Yeah.
but it doubled his budget.
Well, I meant opening week.
Well, fuck you then.
How do we know the budget of this one?
I mean,
It was low.
we might be able to
We
figure it out
talked
in a sec.
Yeah,
we
well,
might
I
be able to grab
guarantee
it.
you it's low. I don't know. It doesn't shock me
We'll
at
get back
all.
to that.
Like when it gets the Best Picture nomination and all that stamped on it,
Yeah.
they'll re-release it in the theater and everyone will.
So the
rush
budget
to
of
see it.
30 million.
This one,
Yeah.
So lower budget than the Ashton Kutcher one.
No, higher budget.
All right.
12
Oh,
million.
sorry, I mixed the number. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, mixed the number.
So, I mean, they got to make, like, a lot more than that to make their money back. But,
Again, like
Yeah.
how much money did Her make opening weekend? Probably nothing. Best
Nothing.
Picture nomination.
yeah, I totally get your rationale.
Right?
But at the same time, I still kind of surprised at how low
Yeah,
that was.
I guess they're expecting money.
But yeah, I think overall, I think we would recommend seeing Jobs. Adam definitely loving this movie.
Fuck.
Definitely go out see Jobs.
6.7
Yeah, for me too as well. Definitely check out Steve Jobs.
million.
With that, I
For
think we'll
opening
move on into our
the other
news. I don't know if you guys want to leave the room or not because
Oh shit!
me and Tim have seen the Star Wars Episode 7 Force Awakens trailer that came out this week. I'm getting hyped just thinking about it. Do you guys actually want to leave?
I'm leaving
Because
the room.
Tyler, get out.
Yeah.
Adam, get out. Me and Tim are going to have a one-on-one
Yeah.
here.
Well,
We are going to discuss...
seeing as how I, Adam, am on media blackout, and you guys are in fact media, I have to leave because this is my most anticipated film of all time. Goodbye.
We are media. I am media. You will be assimilated.
Call us when this is through.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're going separate ways too. This is weird.
Wait, where'd you go?
Adam's going up. Is going upstairs.
Yeah, me too.
Tim, let's get into the Force
into the
Awakens.
trailer.
What did you... I don't even know where to start. Did you like this trailer?
Yeah.
Sorry
First of all,
stop here.
for anyone who's listening doesn't want to watch it. Watch it. It doesn't give anything away from the plot.
Yeah.
It gives you like little snippets of what the story might be about, but you just get more action pieces. You get a better look at some of the characters. It's a really good trailer.
First not look, but you get to hear John Boyega's character Finn for the first time.
Yeah.
You get to hear possibly Lupita Nyong'o's character doing the voiceover. Wow, this trailer, I'm not going to lie for the viewers out there, listeners, I watched this trailer, I don't even know how many times, 30 times? Like, at least like 5 times a day.
I've seen it 3 times, I think, now.
I had it playing on repeat when it first came out. Like, I love this trailer. Like you said, it doesn't give anything away, really, about the plot. Like,
No.
you can kind of figure out some things, like, about John Boyega's character, possibly.
Yeah, the one last shot is him holding the lightsaber, which I could have done without, but then I realized I saw that on the poster a couple days beforehand. So I'm like, okay, so he's going to get a lightsaber. Is he a Jedi? It just raises more questions. It doesn't answer the question if he's a Jedi. It just raises the question, is he a Jedi as well, or is he just a guy who's wielding a lightsaber? Because he doesn't look like he's that competent.
No.
Because he faces off with Kylo Ren in it.
And also, I mean, John Campia of Collider Movie Talk also mentioned this on their Jedi Council show. He was surprised when he saw that John Boyega would be fighting on the poster, like before, when he had a lightsaber. Like, how can he compete with Kylo Ren? And it was like, there's no way he can compete. And you can see in that last shot
he looks nervous.
The fear on Boyega's face when he sees Kylo Ren pull his lightsaber up, and you're like, this is going to be a one-sided fight. Someone's going to have to save Boyega. Someone's going to have to come in and save him because it's not looking good for him. I think we're going to see that. And also, you get to hear Adam Driver's voice as Kylo Ren.
Sounds great.
What did you think of that?
He sounds terrifying. It's obviously it's not quite Darth Vader's voice, which is good. Like it's
his own thing.
It's his own thing. It's just like deep and brooding, and
he's
obviously
finishing with Vader's
and you get like a little hints where he's obviously deeply influenced by Darth Vader. He's probably on Endor at some point because he has the burnt head of Darth Vader.
Someone snagged it.
Yeah, but I think the fan theory is that he's been like a collector of like old Jedi
relics. Sith relics.
Sith relics. So I think that probably is true from the base of what we have so far.
And also we learned that Rey is also a scavenger from the opening sequence there.
Yeah.
She's going through that massive Star Destroyer in the beginning. That was well shot.
Yeah.
What do you think of the score? Because the one thing that really amazed me about this trailer was the John Williams score.
Yeah,
what
it's
do you
like...
think about that? Emotional.
Because it's really good. Yeah, it's really good. And it has like... Obviously it has spurts of the original score he did, but it's been mixed up a little bit too, right? Yeah. The other thing I wanted to mention was the space battles or flying battles look incredible in this.
Absolutely.
When like the Millennium Falcon shoots down the one TIE fighter, which I assume is still called TIE fighter, might not be, who knows. Phenomenal. It looks great.
Just seeing the Millennium Falcon just zoom around, just nostalgia right there. And that's when the music comes in and you see like the Millennium Falcon fly through, and we've already seen parts of that battle in the previous teasers.
Yeah.
When you see that, I was just like, wow, like just emotionally, like the music score coming in. And the one part I really liked and thought was interesting, and it really raised a lot of questions, was when it cut over to Adam Driver's character, where like, I forget what he says, but it just cuts into him and you see that red like laser going across.
Yeah, there's theories.
I think that's got to be the Star Killer base.
There's theories that he's built a Death Star type-esque.
Which was in the poster. It's in the poster.
Yeah. So it has like this big red center part. And it's a quickly see him. I think he's gonna be torturing Oscar Isaac.
That's what I was talking about. You see him with his hand right on Oscar Isaac's face,
clearly in pain,
trying to resist it,
just fear or something like that.
Yeah, and that raises a lot of questions.
Yeah.
I like how it's like, whoa, like what's that? Like we're gonna find more about it, and I just love how it just didn't reveal anything really.
No, it's great. It just gives you like little hints. Like I said, it raises the questions, but doesn't answer any questions. Like a lot of trailers will show you. Like, literally, there's some trailers I've shown you the very last scene. Spider-Man trailer shows you the very last thing you see in the movie is what you see in that trailer.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, this just raises more questions, and it's getting me... Like, I'm excited for this movie. I'm not Adam level hyped, because I only like 2 of the 6 Star Wars movies. One's good, and the rest are shit.
Whoa, shots fired.
This is getting me, like, super hyped for this movie. Like, this was a really solid trailer.
Kudos to Disney, Lucasfilm, and JJ, who obviously put this together.
Yeah.
You get, like, they didn't just give it out to the marketing team. They're like, yeah, just take whatever we have and just cut whatever, to make a good trailer. JJ had his hand in this in making a really, and I'm sure John Williams scored this trailer specifically. This is like the full trailer for this movie. It's not going to be anything else. This is all they need. They want to tease just as much as they want to tease.
Yeah.
I think it's a fantastic job by Lucasfilm.
The way they're doing the way they're marketing this movie is really smart. Where they're marketing it how like Nolan markets his movies, where he releases his trailers that he probably has a hand in cutting those trailers because they don't show a lot. They're not showing like the TV's not being flooded with like behind the scenes and like they're showing they're not
full
showing
action
full
sequences,
they're not showing like full
the set
scenes from the
pieces.
movie, like Spider-Man 2, terrible movie. I mean, the Amazing Spider-Man 2, like terrible movie. But I think before that movie was even released, they had released like 50 minutes of that movie.
Yeah, seriously.
Throughout trailers and clips
Way
and stuff.
too much marketing.
This is all you need to do, and I don't think they're going to do much more between now and December.
A lot of people were surprised by this trailer. No Luke Skywalker.
No Luke Skywalker.
But
you
I'm totally okay with that because I want to see that surprise.
I've heard rumors he has a grizzly beard. Don't know yet. He might not.
There's some leaked photos you can see of him. It's not that surprising, but also no Supreme Leader Snoke.
Yeah, he was absent.
No Donald Gleason.
Nope.
General Hux in this, so I love that there's still a couple characters under wraps. So I like that they're keeping the mystery. So I'm sure you guys out there have seen this trailer. Adam and Ty haven't. So wow, what are you guys doing? Definitely
doesn't spoil it. Yeah. I was hesitant, but I watched it and I was like,
yeah. So if you haven't, by the way, if you haven't seen this trailer, definitely check it out. Yeah. I think with that.
Should I go get them?
Yeah, let's go get them.
You keep the audience entertained.
Yeah, we'll move on into our next news topic.
Keep talking.
No, I'll time out.
We're back.
We'll just pause. No, we'll just keep it in.
Yeah.
So Adam and I have come to the conclusion you two are voted off the island.
We're voted off?
Yeah.
You fucking left, you fucking cunts.
Yeah.
Get off the podcast.
Okay.
Can you guys
ready, Scott? We haven't discussed the trailer yet. Let's do it right now.
You
No.
scumbags. No!
I'm not sure if this is confirmed. I think it's confirmed. Pretty sure it's confirmed. Chris Rock will be hosting the 2016 Oscars.
Oh, sounds like a Switty story to me.
Swid, let's start with you. Do you like Chris Rock as the host of the Oscars? He's a good choice.
Oh, he's a great choice. Like, how could he not be? A huge Chris Rock fan. Loves stand-up. I think that he's going to kill it.
Who was it a couple years ago? James Franco and Anne Hathaway. What a brutal year that was.
Terrible.
I mean, Billy Crystal's always been good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was Oscars, right? Yeah. He's always Oscars.
Yeah.
It's tough to get a really good Oscar host, and I think Chris Rock will be pretty good.
Yeah.
Adam, you have any thoughts on Chris Rock hosting the Oscars?
The memory banks have just been jogged. Just want to throw it out there. TheGuardian.com, Entertainment Tonight, Dispatch Times, The Independent, and Variety.com.
And now the Up Real Late podcast confirms.
Have confirmed Chris Rock is the host of the 2016 Academy.
You heard it here, guys.
Get
you heard it first or seventh.
Get wrecked. Yeah, he is a great choice because the MPH. He was garbage last year. Get wrecked again. Ellen was great, but extremely vanilla. So I'm very excited to see Chris Rock come in and rattle some cages.
Hopefully get some edgy, jokes in there.
After his Lamar Odom joke this week, he'll be slinging.
I didn't hear that joke, but I'm sure it's ruthless.
He tweeted, "Shout out to Lamar Odom for being the first man to ever turn to blow and hookers to save his marriage." Get
Ruthless.
That's
ruthless.
Sweet Jesus.
So I'm praying he roasts everyone in the room, Ricky Gervais style.
Love it.
And I'm sure he'll get banned.
That's the thing. Like the Golden Globes and the Oscars are two very different things.
One has
Golden Globes is like a drunken party.
Yeah, where this is the Oscars. This is prestigious. You don't you want to be cutting. You want to be good, but you don't want to.
I think it's good for the Oscars to do something a little bit more fun to try and get someone like Chris Rock to roast some people a little bit.
The Golden Globes is a more fun show to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
They don't have the clout. Like, the Oscars matter, the Golden Globes don't, but they're more fun to watch because of that fun party atmosphere. The Oscars could... I don't want them to be like a drunken party because there is a level of class to them, obviously.
Oh, huge.
But I want them to be a little less stuffy. Like, they are a little cut and dry.
I almost fell asleep during last year's Oscars. Like, it was...
Yeah,
last year's Oscar a bit of a snore.
Let's remember... let's not forget, Chris Rock has hosted before.
Yeah. 2005, right? 10 years ago.
Let me mention this. I was not too thrilled about Chris Rock because I thought he'd be like rolled back, doing like dad jokes because it's the Oscars. I mentioned this to Adam earlier today, and Adam told me to save it. I totally forgot he's hosted the Oscars before, and he did a great job. So I take it back. I'm excited to see him do it again. Yeah.
I don't even I should YouTube his clips. I don't. Was he good?
He was good back then. Yeah.
What was
it's
this?
like in his
2005?
prime, like
yeah.
Chris Rock was 2005.
Yeah.
Like this is when he's like just coming up and like doing like some.
Yeah, I remember him doing a good job.
Mm-hmm.
So wow, I think we're all pretty excited for Chris Rock.
I am.
We'll find out when we do our Oscars special next year, 2016.
Yeah.
Is it February? Is the
February.
Oscars?
Usually,
Yep. Always.
Golden Globes is usually January, I think.
Something like that.
Sounds about right.
Something like that.
Well, stay tuned for our Oscars special.
Oh yeah, stay tuned.
We're definitely going to get into it then, and we'll see how Chris Rock does then. I think we'll move into our last news topic today, and that is the announcement of Johnny Depp and Edgar Wright teaming up for an upcoming film titled "Fortunately, the Milk," a story written by Neil Gaiman.
A title I can't say.
Fortunately
For the fans.
Tyler, let's get your thoughts. Do you think Edgar Wright teaming up with Johnny Depp is a good idea?
I think it's an amazing idea. How could it not be a good idea?
I mean, this premise of this,
Of course you do.
if I remember correctly, the story of, I'm not sure his character, but
It's a dad
Tim.
who goes out for milk
Dad,
one morning, and he comes back with stories about like aliens and time travel and stuff
Allegedly.
like that. Allegedly.
pirates. I heard you say pirates.
Pirates are involved?
I
think it's just a
is this
mishmash
Pan
of
too?
stuff, yeah.
I'm not sure.
This is.
Does he go to Neverland?
Are you guys telling me this isn't a remake of Sean Penn's Milk?
Harvey.
Harvey Milk?
Sorry.
This isn't a reboot.
No.
What?
I'm
Directed
out.
by
It
Edgar
won't
Wright.
be a
starring
shared,
Johnny Depp.
universe.
Shared milk universe.
Milk type movie.
Then
Dirty
I'm out.
universe.
See ya.
I'm shocked right now.
I'm very excited for this.
I mean, anything Edgar Wright does, instantly interested in this.
Yeah.
And also this is coming from the writer of Flight of the Conchords, if I remember
Yep.
correctly.
No, it's coming from. Yeah, I guess he did write it, but
Or he did-
he's one of the conquerors.
One of the. Okay, I'm not too familiar with Flight of the Conchords, but
Brit.
Tim's bits for you.
My
Wow.
New Zealand accent. Brit.
wow, amazing.
Brit.
I guess I'll
Adam,
jump in.
jump in real quick.
Not my thoughts on that accent,
Which
but
was
my thoughts
amazing,
on
by
the
the way.
story. Not jumping out of my shoes because
You're
I
a piece
don't.
of shit.
Well,
You.
not. Let me finish.
No.
I'm not hyped because I don't know the story well.
Fair enough.
None of us do. But I'm excited that Edgar Wright has found his next project because I didn't want him to kill himself after the Marvel debacle.
Seriously, yeah.
And
rough.
The amount of years he put into that.
Yeah, I mean, geez, yeah, I never even thought of that. He put 8 years in?
A lot of years.
2006.
A lot of years developing.
Yeah. I'm happy Johnny Depp has chosen to work with a great director and try to get out of his slump. What?
Not Wally Pfister.
Oh,
Who's not a
shit.
director. Transcendence, we won't get into.
Black Mass, like I said, was a good step. Step in the right direction. This could be a further step in the right direction.
But when you think about it, is this really a step in the right direction? He's playing a wacky character who goes on a crazy adventure with pirates, space, all this crazy stuff.
I was going to say
It's
that.
going back to just Johnny Depp that we've seen before doing
No,
a
but
wacky
the
character.
thing though, it's Johnny Depp that we haven't seen before because this is going to be directed by Edgar Wright. It's not going to be
but-
Tim Burton. It's not going to be Gore Verbinski.
It's Edgar
It's-
Wright's
Nice.
It's going to
done
be
those wacky characters, though. I mean,
I'm so sweaty dropping names.
I don't know.
Get bodied, Scott.
I'm not.
This is Johnny Depp like
is
we've never
not-
seen before.
Scott,
I-
sit the fuck down. Ty's our new host.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree.
This
with
is
that.
Johnny Depp via
No.
Edgar Wright.
Well, this
Tim
is
and I had a
Tim,
brief
Tim.
discussion about this before we knew we were doing this as a news topic. This is great. Johnny Depp works when his quirky characters are fun, but Tim Burton has gone too far with it. Gore Verbinski has gone too far with his
Tim
quirky
Burton needs to be
characters.
stopped.
Edgar Wright is quirky, but he's not like Wes Anderson, which Johnny Depp was supposed to do a movie with, and he's not like Tim Burton level quirkiness. Like I think this is gonna be a right good level for him. I don't know his character. I don't think his character is gonna be like a pirate in this one. He's gonna be like a grounded dad put into the scenario.
If you guys have seen Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy,
I was just going to say that.
if he plays like an Arthur Dent, like it was, if I remember correctly, is the name of his character,
Martin
Freeman's character in that. If he plays like a Martin Freeman Arthur Dent character, which it sounds very similar to that,
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that. If he plays a human, I'm okay with that. That would be great. So if that happens, then I'm with you guys. I think Edgar Wright would be a good choice.
I think Edgar Wright would know how to use a Johnny Depp. Edgar Wright's not dumb. He's one of us. He's a cinephile. Like, he knows the current climate of, like, Johnny Depp's career and how everyone sees him as, like, other than Switalski.
A legend.
Yes, but also, you know, he's on a rough patch with the wacky, kooky characters. Like you said, it's the perfect comparison. If he plays the straight man going through this, like, wacky, insane world, that would be amazing. Like a low-key...
The opposite of what?
Yeah, maybe like a tired, like annoyed, just like Tim said, dad mode. Yeah. Just like in a robe. Just like, ugh.
Just in a robe.
This world sucks.
Imagine how dad's just in a robe.
It'd be great. I'd love that. But if he's like, this like kooky guy, like Mad embracing Hatter. The world, and like exactly. If he's like a Mad Hatter and like takes on the roles of these like pirates and dinosaurs or whatever.
I see like an Imaginarium kind of thing going on right now,
which he's in, right?
Yeah, he's one of the cameos in that.
What was the movie he did this year? Where the mustache?
Mordecai. We don't talk about Mordecai, Scott.
I mean, that's
even I didn't like Mordecai.
So hit and miss. Wow.
Exactly. I don't want him to be like a Mordecai like cartoon character.
Wow. Yeah. Any other thoughts we have on this?
Do we know more about the story?
That's all we know.
It's such a
I'm sure we could look it up because it's a book.
What Neil was Gaiman, like he walks out
Neil
to get
Gaiman's
cereal,
like Sandman and stuff.
Yeah, but
he goes to get milk for
it's
cereal?
Called Fortunately the Milk. So I guess fortunately when he comes back, he actually ended up with the milk still. Yeah.
Well, we can kind of take a little. We can kind of look back a little bit.
Spoiled milk.
We can kind of.
Let's not cry over spoiled the milk.
It's not an episode of the Upper Late podcast if we don't throw in a horrible pun. But yeah,
if we learned anything from Edgar Wright, it's that he likes to do things his own way. So
yes, he squandered a $500 million grossing film to do it his way.
I don't think that reading this book is going to give us any information. Like he might take excerpts from this book and kind of build something from there. But I wouldn't
tear his fucking head off. Tell us what you think.
I wouldn't hold this as a Bible to the movie that's coming out.
I mean, if you don't want to be spoiled, then I wouldn't read the story because there's probably going to be some hints.
Oh, there'll be some similarities.
He's going to give his own spin on it with like his editing, like it's like classic Edgar Wright.
Smash cuts.
Yes, there's going to be smash cuts.
Gotta love smash cuts.
So many smash cuts.
Gotta love them.
I think it could work. It could work for me. I'm
so we're all a meandering. Me could work.
Nope.
And Tyler's rock hard, ready to go.
Yeah.
I think with that, on that hard note, that'll do it for episode 17 of the Up Real Late podcast.
You can follow us on Twitter at Up Real Late, and you can follow myself on Letterboxd. That's Up Real Tim, real with 2 E's, just like a fishing reel.
Tyler,
because we're all about the fishing here. You can follow me on Instagram. No, I'm not on Instagram. You can follow me on
Twitter.
Twitter, thank you.
Yeah, that's a thing.
The social media. Thank you. Follow me on Twitter at Mogi6, MOGEY6, as well as you can follow us on Facebook at Up Real Late Podcast, as well as on Instagram. There we go. At Up Real Late Podcast.
Adam.
You can follow me, Adam, at Franey25 on Twitter, FRANEY25, and Up Real Adam on Letterboxd. 2 E's, like movie reel, not fishing reel.
Right.
Timothy.
All right, we don't fish here.
And you can follow me, Scott, at Twitter at S_Ellis71 and on Letterboxd at UpRealScott.
I just want to say I've been thinking a lot about this lately, and I'm off the podcast, guys. Goodbye.
Wow.
Just kidding. What I was going to say, I want to do a Up Real Late Letterboxd account. So if I'm not too lazy, I might do that. Listeners,
please like log out films that we talked about.
Yeah, and like our ratings because I want to keep track of what we gave everything.
Well,
would you do like an average rating?
Yeah, so say do like kind of take all of ours and divide it by 4, and
we can talk about this later.
We'll work out the kinks.
Yeah. We'll get back to you,
listeners. Leave in the comments if that's a good idea or not.
There you go. Until next time, guys. Keep it real.